Countdown? You're a fan of the countdown?
Just today.
I'm a fan of the rock music. There you go. That's right. Orange and Blue today. We're back live. Have we ever done this before, Mace, where we stop the show and then something happens and we have to go live? So forget our schedule. Apologies to the YouTube algorithm, but the Broncos just signed a linebacker.
Our timing was terrible. Because we went off the air and then literally the news on Dre Greenlaw broke. Yes, the Broncos have their inside linebacker. It's Dre Greenlaw. He's coming aboard, joining the Denver Broncos. Huge get for them at the core of their defense. And as we talked about on the other show, you're rolling the dice on a player coming off of injury. Of course, he had the torn Achilles tendon that he suffered back in Super Bowl 58. And then when he tried to come back in December of this past year, was dealing with some soreness. So the Niners shut him down after 34 snaps. But you figure with another offseason, he should be good to go. At this stage, this age, sees usually guys, once they get a year beyond that Achilles, are all the way back. And if he's all the way back, man, that's a beast at the center of your defense.
Yeah, that's an absolute tremendous player. Achilles soreness, I believe, is what John Lynch described it as last year. So Achilles soreness. All right, get it right then. And we've seen players with the Denver Broncos get their Achilles rights. Now, former training staff. But again, I'll go back to the Bo Lowry card. They feel really good about their training staff. So feel really good about Dre Greenlaw's chances of returning to form, Mace.
$35 million over 3 years, by the way, is the contract.
So they feel really good about him returning to form.
Yeah. And that's actually not bad value. I mean, I have to see the guarantee, but if he ends up coming in and succeeding, you're getting someone like that for under $12 million a year.
Yeah. And I would say the guarantee is probably 20. If I were to guess, if it's 3 year, 35, go 20 guaranteed.
Yeah. That would be because that's the same guarantee that Hufanga got on the back end. Another player with an injury history as well, that he had the torn ACL in 2023 and then had the wrist injury in 2024. So I think that's that would be pretty fair. We'll find out here, hopefully the guarantee here in a little bit, but guarantee, I feel like I'm doing a Tommy Boy thing, talking about the guarantee on the box.
Of course. It won't take long though. We should know pretty soon.
But here you go. You had a defense that was on the rise last year until the last month of the season. Okay. It was a good defense, but as we saw against the Browns, against the Colts, when Jonathan Taylor did run through and over the Broncos, against the Chargers, especially in that second half, against the Bengals when they couldn't force a punt until overtime, the Chiefs game that was against scrubs, it didn't matter. And then against the Bills when Buffalo controlled the football for 41 plus minutes.
Ugh.
Look, it was interesting. When I brought up the run defense to George Payton at the Combine press conference, he leaned on what the rankings were over the course of the season. And, it was better. It was improved. Okay, I get that. It still was in free fall in December and January. And we saw that. And it was a huge reason why the Broncos lost in Buffalo, because they could not get off the field. Now, looking at the moves they've made, clearly they're thinking of this as a second level issue more than a first level issue, because DJ Jones comes back at $13 million a year. He was the best run defender up front. So you started by saying, okay, we're not going to let him, who ranked 4th among interior defensive linemen in run stop rate, you're not going to let him go. But how do we make sure those runs that got through the second level and beyond, those little jabs that became gashes, how do we prevent that? Hufanga, Greenlaw. And then you get Singleton back as well, someone who does do a nice job of preventing the damage from getting worse. I mean, is he, some of his tackles are from behind, but sometimes part of your job as an inside linebacker is limiting the damage. He does that. So now you actually have some players who can stop the bleeding in a way that you struggled to do last year.
Nick Bolton was a drag tackler as well.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Like the drag tackler thing can be a little bit overstated. You want a guy to be a thumper. You want a guy to get him down, though. How many times? I'm totally not talking about Justin Sternad, but how many times have we seen inside linebackers just let a guy get by him?
Yeah.
At least Singleton gets him down.
That was a problem. I mean, look at the Colts game. Cody Barton and Justin Sternad, and look how often Jonathan Taylor was getting by them. Look, we all feel good for the Broncos about making the playoffs. If Jonathan Taylor does not drop the ball right before they cross the goal line, folks, the Denver Broncos are not a playoff team.
Yep.
Almost certainly. I mean, obviously we can't reconstruct everything, but almost certainly the Indianapolis Colts are a playoff team, not the Denver Broncos, based on how tie breaks would have gone.
Yep.
Sorry, folks.
That's how thin this line is.
Yes. All because Jonathan Taylor did something really stupid, and momentum is a thing. Momentum irretrievably changed as a result of that. So it's a thin line. You were lucky. You were dadgum lucky that happened. But as you get to the off season and you get through the review film, if you're clear-headed about this, and I believe the Broncos were very clear-headed in their analysis, and that's why you're seeing the moves that you see today. Where was the glitch? Well, the glitch was beyond up front. These moves fixing the glitch. Now, I thought PJ Locke was a bit better than a lot of people did, but that being said, I don't think PJ Locke was bad. But is Hufanga better than PJ Locke? Yes.
Yes.
And you had a chance to upgrade. You're also taking advantage of the 49ers being in bad cap shape. That they were interested in bringing back Hufanga, according to a couple of reports around the league and from the San Francisco Bay Area, but they couldn't afford to do that. And this is another reason why, if you're the Broncos, you want to make sure that you continue to be diligent around your cap planning. You don't want to be in the spot the 49ers are today. You certainly don't want to be in a spot where the New Orleans Saints are right now. So you've got to be prudent in how you structure these contracts, prudent in how you plan for the future here. And this is where having ownership and having George Paton around helps, because I think what you're going to see with Denver is Greg Penner and George Paton maybe able to rein Sean Payton in a little bit in a way that Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis together weren't necessarily reined in New Orleans. Which continues now with Mickey Loomis still kicking the can down the road and bringing Derek Carr back for another year. Like, you don't want it to look like that. You don't want it to look like San Francisco right now, where they're selling off assets, or in the case of Hufanga, not able to bring it back a player they valued. And in the case of Greenlaw, not able to bring back a player they valued.
It was just at the combine where John Lynch said they were very interested. That was a report out around the combine. They were very interested in re-signing Dre Greenlaw. Well, you can be very interested. And he didn't take until the morning. That's why we did a second show.
Yeah.
Because he didn't take it till the morning. He made the decision. He chooses the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Broncos were in a good spot with interest in Denzel Perryman as well. With Greenlaw or Perryman, I think they would have been fine with either.
Mm-hmm.
Greenlaw is younger, so Greenlaw gives you a chance to solve the problem for longer. I think Perryman would have been your classic 1-year solution. The little meme about basically putting the tape on the water tank, right? You slap it on there, and
you just did the Flex Seal thing on me.
The Flex Seal thing. That's what it is. Yeah. Denzel Perryman's the Flex Seal for 1 year.
Yeah.
Dre Greenlaw has a chance to actually kind of be a new tank there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More substantive. So that's the excitement about this for the Denver Broncos, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're excited as well. Are you excited to do another show if they get Evan Ingram when we jump off this show?
Yeah, the way this is going, we might have to get back on here if they're announcing a tight end tonight. This is sort of the way of the way of free agency here, which, by the way, free agency hasn't technically begun. It's Wednesday when it begins.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
It's legal tampering period. I always feel bad for NFL team digital media staffs. Of course, I've been a part of 2 of them because they can't do anything right now. You just have to sit there.
Yep.
And be quiet and not say anything until it's official. And meanwhile, like the news cycle just moves on by. Like by the time they announce it, like people like us, we've already done our shows. We've already done our analyses. I'm going to sit down as soon as I'm done with this and write my Dre Greenlaw breakdown, kind of like I wrote my Hufanga breakdown earlier. And I've already started writing, just in case, my Evan Ingram breakdown for later on, hopefully later on. So, it's how it goes, man. Life
Don't be surprised if you see us again.
I'm just going to keep this camera here ready to go. And I may just work in this spot. My desk is usually on the other side of this room. I'm just going to stay here in this spot and work. And
you want to do the YouTube things again, Mace, or do you want to just peace out and then go make dinner really quick?
Let's do the YouTube things again. Why not? Because it's a tradition at this point, right?
Let me start it then.
Okay.
Like,
comment,
share,
subscribe,
and hit that notification bell.
Ding. So that you
never miss vid. See how long it takes for him to get Evan Ingram. He's Andrew Mason. I'm Cecil Lammy. We're eating quickly, and we're here for you. Check out denversports.com. Follow Mace at Mace Denver, at Cecil Lammy. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Stay frosty.